You know?
Nah, that ain't my baby. No, that's your baby, man.
Okay, so I've talked about this. Just finished my 18th year in education.
Good job.
Right. So
Nice.
thank you.
You gotta have hella patience,
man. You gotta be great. You gotta be graced to do this work that long.
For sure.
Definitely. So this was actually my first year doing high school administration. So been doing middle school administration since 2018. That was when I came out of the classroom. But first year doing high school and middle school administration. Long story short, I got an administration team that manages middle school and high school.
Okay.
So anyway, I started thinking about the kids, man. Like my oldest son is getting ready to be a junior in high school. And so as much as we'll talk about some of these troubled kids who make some decisions that really make you scratch your head, like we are the generation that's raising them,
Right,
you know?
right.
And so, you know, our parents, like they didn't play, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it really makes me scratch my head, you know, some of these middle school and high school age kids, it's like, man, why are they acting that way? Because I know their parents were taught better based on they're my contemporaries. They're the people that I grew up with around that age.
No, Thelma came and sat in the classroom.
Man, look.
Thelma Ellis came and sat in the
And
classroom.
you have a few
know what I'm
that
saying?
will come up. You have a few that and request to do that. And you know, it's so many rules around that now, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, you got
Oh,
FERPA rights.
more
You're protecting the
pedals.
privacy of the kids.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make sure you know who's coming in the building, that sort of thing. Like, there's a bunch of red tape with that. So you really got to be careful with
So
that.
it's not as lenient as it used to be.
No,
as
not at
far
all.
as- yeah,
Not at all. Not at all, man. And it unfortunately, man, you got people coming on campus. You don't know what their intentions are.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know,
yeah. Time changed.
Yeah, times have
changed.
definitely
Absolutely,
changed.
Yeah, I get that.
So you got to be mindful of that. But yeah, man. I mean, there's still a lot of good kids out there. You know, don't get me wrong. But you got. I think there's a bit of entitlement that comes along with some of these kids. You got some parents who are just not holding their kids accountable. I know parents that don't play and they raise their kids like they raise us. And I got some that's like, man, if they didn't kill anybody, like, why are y'all calling me?
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, it's like that's real. That's not an exaggeration.
Oh, wow.
You know? And then you got some that's like, look, they with y'all during this time. I'm working or I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Like, if they not a danger to anybody, I need y'all to figure that out, you know? And so the accountability factor can be lacking depending on the school, depending on the situation. But you're gonna have that everywhere.
My teachers was allowed to whoop me when I was you know what I'm saying. Coaches had the paddles. Principal had the paddles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your mom said, if he act up, yeah, you can whoop him.
Oh, dude.
You could sign a form.
but that kind of went back to the concept of a village raising a child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't all the way understand that till I got a little bit older.
Yeah.
But it's like it really does take a village. It's like for me, you know what I'm saying, I had my principal had eyes on me. Teachers had eyes on me. Next door neighbor had eyes on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I got from school and it wasn't nobody at the crib, I had to go to Miss Shirley's house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wait on either mom or dad to get to the crib and come get me from Miss Shirley's house.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people I had to answer to, you know what I'm saying, as far as holding me accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now is more so, which I get it. It's like it's a real tough gray area. I get it because people are weird.
Yeah.
People are weird.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? You know, who's to say it? Because now you finding out that Miss Shirley be touching on the kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like Miss Shirley didn't touch me. Shout out to Miss Shirley.
Right.
But still, it's like
Yep.
it's like now you finding out that all this stuff coming to light, and about people and how weird they can be is like, okay, well, we just gonna keep it in our circle,
right?
It's not gonna be a village, it's gonna be us. So I understand to a certain extent how, but it also goes back to the parents actually getting to know, you know what I'm saying, the teachers and the people around, the people like actually get to know the people teaching your kid, watching your kid, stuff like that. Like I said, my mom, she came up to the school and got to know.
Yeah.
Everybody had her number.
That makes a
You know what I'm
difference.
saying?
Yeah.
It's like she talked to him. She wanted to, so what do you do? Like she's actually getting to know who's teaching my son.
Makes a huge difference.
You feel what I'm saying? And then, okay, bet I can trust you to discipline him because I know if you discipline him, it's coming out of a good,
right?
it's coming out of a good place. So I get that part.
Do they?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have parent-teacher conferences?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do people actually show up these days?
So so I work grades 6 through 12. I'm gonna see a lot of 6th grade parents for parent conferences. I'm gonna see a lot of 9th grade parents at parent conferences. Why? They're new to middle school or new to high school. And it seems like kind of the longer they're in whatever level of the school that they're in, you'll start seeing it dwindle off. I don't ever see senior parents. You know, like it's like I can count them on one hand, and you would think that you know that you would, because they're getting ready to transition into like real life. They're getting ready to go to college, like all of that. Like you would think that you would see those parents a little bit more, but you don't see them as much. Yeah,
Tragic.
yeah. So we'll schedule. We have 2 that we'll calendar, like on the actual school calendar. Specifically with where I work, it's a half day. So the kids come to school for a half day. Second half of the day is parent conferences. So you literally got the whole second half of the day to come up, meet with your kids' teachers. So, if you're flexible, you can come during the day, cool. If you can't come to afterward, we'll usually extend it till 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening so you can still come. So there's no excuse for you not to be able to go speak to those teachers at least twice a year. But you can schedule a parent conference like as time permits. If you want to meet with a teacher specifically, you can do that too. So that's still the thing.
Do you ever, with you having kids of your own, and you know that you want to see them go in a certain direction or whatever, how do you handle a situation where you see kids going down a path that you know they shouldn't, and then you meet the parent and you like, oh, that's why? Like, how do you
like the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, how do you step in and be like, yo, I'm gonna be this person in your life that's,
Man, you try to be proactive as possible, guys. I mean, sometimes you see these red flags with kids, and it can be very much because they're a product of the environment. And it could very well be where you have been placed in this person's life so that you can at least give them another view of how things could go, because you can't always change, what's going on at home, especially if, Jay, you talked about, your parents came up and like they partnered, with the school. They meet it like the parents know your mom, they know how your mom get down, like that kind of thing. Like, man, that makes such a huge difference when when you had those lines of communication, when you had that partnership, but you always don't have that. Man, I got a situation, I got kids in mind. The most active parents are some of the ones who don't live, in the state. It's a custody issue, or I got to go work in another state because that's what's paying me. But the best place for you, is to be at home because it's a better living environment. Like it's so many factors that contribute to it. So you just try to be as proactive as possible. I try to be very candid with the parents. Like, hey, this is what we're dealing with. I'm seeing a pattern of behavior that's going to put this kid, where we're going to have to talk about expulsion. Is that something that you want? That's something that's going to follow them, whether they stay with us or not. And sometimes that gets the attention of them. Not too often, will that not, kind of turn the light bulb on from them and kind of change the trajectory. But it's definitely been some complicated, situations out there.
One more question, sorry. So by you being a musician, and you being a teacher,
right?
Was there ever, or has there ever been a time in your 18 years of teaching that you have had to grab a kid's attention or try to keep them from doing bad or whatever? Have you ever used music as a way to, give them something to do, or even try to steer them in a direction away from where they were going? Yeah,
many times. Many times. Kids walk around with so much talent. It could be with music. It could be things connected to it. Maybe they're a great writer and don't realize they're a great writer. Maybe they have the potential to be a great musician, but they don't have an instrument, or you recognize that they hear things a little bit different from other people, especially when I was in the classroom. And so, you kind of give them that avenue, like, look, maybe school doesn't come natural to you, you don't like doing the studying, all of that. You got to do some of it to be able to get this credit for this class so you can go to the next grade. So you always want to stress the importance of the academics, but you can talk to them about how their talent can be the vehicle to get them wherever that they're trying to go.
Yeah, so some teachers, they're incorporating learning with like some type of cadence
for sure,
or something like that.
For
so
sure.
Does that come easily for you to